Yes, the story of your life still unfolds. Right now you don't understand how you fit into his plan. Though it seems you lost, you win. Whoa, yeah. You made a decision. What's the point of living at all? Feel like I can answer you. Something deep inside you saying that you can't make it through. You're stronger than you'll ever know. Troubles from yesterday only come to test your faith. The darkest part of night is just before the day. Oh, everything that you've prayed for is waiting for you through that door. Because victory was in the plan before. See, the night is over and you're growing stronger. Time for you to smile now. Look into the sky now. Felt like you were all alone. God was with you all along. You were stronger than you ever knew. Celebrate a brighter day now that you can find your way. When it seems you lost, you win. When it seems you lost, you win. Oh, though it seems you lost, know that you're gonna make it. Know that you're gonna make it. Know that you're gonna make it. Hard trials, confusion, that is faithful to our trials, confusion, that is faithful. No matter what you're going through, God will see you through.
How doing today? What's up, y'all? This is D-Ross, Dwayne-Ross, the author of the book No More Crumbs from the Table, celebrating you, discovering your tag, your talent, your ability, your gift, putting it to work in the earth. And as you can just see, that was my beautiful daughter, Brittany Ross, with her new single that's out right now on anywhere, all over Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube music. I mean, it's all over the place. She's been on a couple of radio stations. She's doing her thing, but you win. And no matter what you're going through, if you realize that you win in the end, then you don't have to stand in where you are. You can keep moving forward. Hey, this is so cool today because I'm trying to tell you there's been a lot of talk about where we can go, what we can do, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. I just want to let you know that there are people out here who they're being safe, but they're also successful. They're moving and grooving and enjoying themselves around this globe. Now, we know that it's a pandemic, right? It's all over the place. There's a pandemic happening right now, COVID, right? But at the same time, how is it that the industry that was supposed to get hit the worst by COVID still show profit? Well, that's because people who have started their own businesses in the area of travel has made a decision to continue to move forward and help those families that want to travel as a family in a safer environment to places that they can control a lot of their engagement with other people. Now, I traveled to Las Vegas. You guys know that. You follow me. You know that, hey, I was out there with my grandkids. And one of the things about Las Vegas is that Vegas has a lot of people from all over the place, right? But Vegas itself, the mayor of Vegas, the governor, excuse me, decided of Nevada and the mayor of that environment decided that they're going to keep people safe as much as they could. So, what did I see? I saw families. They were in their own little groups having a good time. And so that's available to you. Now, before I go there, I want to give a shout out to Sabrina Dent, Dr. Dent, the African Americans and Religious Freedom. Her book is out. This was not something that I created. This is actually something that she did in her area, but also shout out to Corey D.B. Walker, who is a co-editor on this book. And if you haven't seen it, I put the download out there for you guys to get yourselves a copy. It's free. Yeah, can I say free? Free. Yes, it's free, right? So get that. Other people, if you want to go on Amazon and get the book, No More Crumbs from the Table, I am actually updating it for 2021. I'm going to go back and talk to some of the people that was on the show, bringing some information in and showing you exactly how you can move forward. If you remember last week, I also had Mr. Q Donald, right? Q Donald, he came on the show and then he suffered a situation, right? You guys put prayers out there, you put money out there to help him out because he was actually accosted by three gentlemen and they actually carjacked him, but they did it at gunpoint and he survived. He walked away from that. I want to remind you, hey, we got to be safe, we got to be careful, but at the same time, we got to support one another. And it was so beautiful to see you guys giving him. He had a cash app to help him because he lost it all. He didn't have a car seat for his kids. He lost his job because he didn't have his car. It was crazy, right? And he's still overcoming it because he's also dealing with PTSD. Because anytime you go past another brother and that person you think maybe they have something in on, for you or not, you just don't know. And he was just, minding his own business when three African American males came up to him and made this decision to use force. And they could have actually shot him and killed him, but they didn't. And I believe that's because grace and mercy was standing over his shoulder. And we could talk about that on another day. But he and I are coming together and we're going to talk about this apparel business, right? We're going to invite you to participate in designing your own apparel. I also want to give a shout out to Carlotta Taylor. You guys know Carlotta was on fire. She's on fire. This girl is on fire. That song matches her energy, right? She's out there. She has the book No More Flinching. You guys remember that. She survived the abuse right in her own household, right? She talks about this time where her dad made her like get on her knees and act like a dog in front of her friends. Amazing resilience, right? She became an officer. She went in the military. She took care of business, and now she's a thousandaire, 100,000 there, right? She's doing over $100,000 in her business. I'm going to be having her come on and talk about that, or I might be on her show. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But next week, I also have a new author that I'm going to expose you guys to, and this author is someone who they've been working on their craft, doing some different things, and now they're ready to expose it to the world. And they just really released one of their books, and I'm going to bring her on. But she's also a radio host in Chicago, and you guys saw that the information's out there. So pay attention to what's going on because there's a lot happening with the Passion2Profits TV. The fact also is, you guys know that I've been talking about this Roku TV and getting on these channels where I'm going to have a little multiple networks that I'm involved with, and they'll be able to find us on Apple TV, Google TV, Roku TV, and the other two big ones is Amazon TV, and Amazon Prime. It's amazing what's getting ready to happen. And so I already crafted that deal. That's going forward. At one time, I was building my own channel, but I found that it was better to connect to a channel that's already just kind of growing, and we can grow together. So together we do more. Remember that. Also, shout out to Rob Howes. If you haven't been paying attention to Rob Howes Oh man, he's been moving that movement forward that Lisa Nichols started called, let's grow, right? And he did a song called Let's Grow, right? Well, guess what? Lisa heard the song, then they started using it for the anthem for them moving forward with this whole movement where it comes to us not forgetting about, but not paying attention so much to the negativity, but let's come together and grow together as human beings. When we put aside all the differences and we realize that we have one major thing in common, we're human. All right. And so we're celebrating humanness. And, Dr. King said it. He said, either we will come together, right? and we will come together as brothers, or we will perish together as fools. We celebrate his birthday coming up, and we want to make sure that we, take some time out. I don't care what you're doing in the time of your earth, while you're here on the earth, take some time out to celebrate the King, Dr. King, right? And so, and remember what he also said in there. He talked about us perishing again, perishing as fools, but he also said the greatest conqueror of darkness is light. So if you conquer darkness is light, you are light. You are the light of the world. Therefore, bring your light into the darkness. That's the only thing. And love covers it. Love conquers it. So we need to love one another. And I think we'll be in a way, way, way better place. So let me get back to what is getting ready to happen and what I'm about to expose you to today in reference to the travel industry. Man, I got two people that's on tap. I'm gonna go ahead and bring those comments in. There's some people probably already, watching, but I want to share some information. Let's see here. We got good evening. All right. Okay, we have Brittany Ross. That was me. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. One smile to a door. Awesome. Putting that out there. And remember, if you we're going to talk about in business with miles.com. Like that's coming at you in a moment. And I'm going to share some information about Miss Miles. And of course, I want to share this information traveling globally with my man, Johnny C. So, some of you guys, that I've been talking about a lot of different things. But what I do here on this show is expose passion. When people have a passion for something that they love, the passion of something that they found that works for them, the goal of it all is to put it to work in the earth, right? You discover your tag. Once you have your tag going, your talent, your ability, your gift, then you put it to work in the earth. And these two people that I have coming here today has decided that that's what they want to do. They want to put this into the earth. All right. Yeah, you're welcome for the shout out again in reference to the African Americans and religious freedom with no S because I was messing up that. But hey, listen, have you ever wanted to travel even during the pandemic and you just wasn't sure what to do, where to go, how to set it up, what other things you need to have in place to make sure that happens? Well, I have Miss Antuinette Miles-Darden. She's in the green room right now. I'm gonna bringing her in. She's going to share some information with you. And then I have my man Johnny C, Mr. Connor. He is going to come in and also share some information. So I'm going to bring the two of them in. I'm getting Miss Darden. How you doing, Miss Darden? You good?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, yeah, we hear you. You're looking good. Looking
Thank you.
good like you should. Looking good like you should. What's going on, lady? How you been? How you been?
I am great. I am living life and loving it.
Living life and loving it. Now, you guys remember, I talked about this. Life is for living, not existing. And I heard something real powerful today in reference to time. You know, uh, you know how much money you have, but you don't know how much time you have. I think your CEO said that today, and I
Yes,
wrote that
dear.
down, Ms. Darden. Your CEO said that today. You don't know you know how much money you have, but you don't know how much time you have. So why wait? Why keep putting things off till tomorrow? Procrastination, stealer of dreams. All right. And you have a partner that you brought with you. I want to bring him in because, I didn't even know, but we go way back to high school. And it was crazy because I'm like, yo, why am I getting this message from this guy? Who is this dude? What's happening? And he's like, yo, da 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 da. And then we start talking. He's like, you remember blah blah blah. I'm like, oh man, what's up? I got no other than Mr. Johnny Connor coming in. What's happening, Mr. J?
Hey, how you doing there? How's everyone doing? Dwayne, how are you this evening?
Oh man, I am blessed. All is well. I can't complain. And even if I did, what's gonna happen? I still got to get up and make moves, right? Keep
Absolutely.
moving forward. That's what I'm all about.
Absolutely.
I'm all about that whole idea. So tell us,
Absolutely.
John, you partners. How did you become a partner with Miss Darden? What happened?
Well, I tell you, it's amazing how blessing how God actually works. The two of us actually were back and forth pretty much on Facebook, and she pretty much told me pretty much about this great blessing that came upon her, and I just happened to be looking myself after retiring from the military. I happened to be looking myself for a secondary job, to take care of my income and all. And she was telling me, hey, look, I'm doing this, and I really would like you to take a look at this. And I realized what she was doing was not only great, but it was sexy. And it was one of the most
Ooh,
sexiest things
ooh,
that I
wait,
can
wait.
think of in the industry. Okay.
He said,
In the retail marketing
Antoinette, he
industry.
said it's
Okay.
not only great, but it was sexy. Did you hear
Yes,
his
sir.
voice change up a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
tell, tell us tell us about this sexiness, Antoinette. Why is it sexy? What is it about travel that's so sexy?
Travel is sexy because everybody wants to do it and no one is allergic to it. When you
hello.
talk to somebody about travel, no one has ever said, I don't want to travel nowhere. I don't want to go on vacation. I just want to work all day, right? Travel is the one thing that everybody loves. Everybody likes to be on the beach. If they don't like the beach, guess what? They like going skiing. They like the mountains. They like being out in the world. They like spending time with their family. So travel is just one of those things that is perfect for anyone. It doesn't matter how young you are, because the mouse is out there for the kids, or how old you are for the retreats where it's just for you and your spouse. So it's
Wow. Now here's the thing. People get a little afraid. They get a little scary when it comes to people talking about travel, right? Because travel right now got a bad rap, right? Because I mean, you don't want to go to a hot spot or whatever, but it's interesting because many of these places that we want to go got like their information about COVID happened way, way, way earlier because we had someone in the White House that was holding back information and then also didn't allow people to actually move forward with what they needed to do to help us become more secure. So now we saw, this situation where we couldn't go a lot of places because it was like just an unknown. But you stayed in the travel game, even though you knew that we were dealing with a pandemic. You knew that there was some things going on, and we're going to get to that. But the first thing I want to talk about to the two of you, and I want to first go to Johnny, and I want him to explain where his position was on this, because you both have a journey into this small business ownership where you actually decided to take advantage of owning a business on outside of what your regular work was. And Johnny, I remember what was you, an air traffic controller? What were you doing in the Air Force?
Was the great United States Army, United
Army,
States
Army. What was you
military.
doing in the Army? What were you doing?
Absolutely.
Wait,
Uh,
no. Why didn't you go in the Air Force? No, this kid.
Wishful thinking. But
So,
I had done a total of about 30 years, Dwayne, in the United States Army. Loved it. Best years of my life, traveling, seeing the world. But each time I went out to travel and see the world, I didn't really have time to see the world the way I wanted to because of me being on that military mission. And I saw it as another great opportunity when the opportunity for me to actually become a travel agent came about. I saw my way to becoming not only a travel agent, but to also to be able to help other individuals out here that may have been looking for something else to do, during their retirement, or someone that's just looking, period, to supplement. for supplement in a secondary way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because Antoinette, you talk about people figuring out a way to have financial freedom. So you, I believe you're the one that talked to Johnny about this. Talk to us about how you can find financial freedom by business ownership versus your regular W-2 paycheck to paycheck. What's up?
So one of the things that we're not taught in school is that having a 1199, we're all taught the same thing. When you get older, go to school, get out of school, get you a good job, right? Work for somebody else and let them pay you. But one thing that we're never taught is how to own your own business and the power that you get from being a business owner and not just a employee, but actually having the ownership and be your own CEO in your own right. And just being a business owner, you can make the decision to move your business as fast or as slow as you want to, which gives yourself an unlimited opportunity, infinite opportunity of how much you can actually earn based on what your drive is and what your passion is.
Well, well said there. But I got to back up a little bit because there are some people who they start off a business and then they fail and they fall apart, and they never want to do it again because they said it's just terrible, it's too much. Can you talk about the fact that failure was this your first entry into entrepreneurship, and then the idea is some people they don't get real good mentoring and coaching, so they usually fall over themselves and they make some money but they don't make a lifestyle. Could you talk about that?
Yes, of course. And you're absolutely right. Failure is one of those steps to success. Most people do not just start a business and have amazing success in it the first go round. You have to get in the business, fall down, get back up. It's kind of like riding a bike. No one ever jumps on a bike, start riding it, and just know how to ride it. You have to fall down. You have to take the bumps and the bruises. But the thing is to be consistent, stay with it, stay in it, keep in it. And when you have an amazing mentor or coach that will not let you stay down, right? Because when you quit your business, it's because you fell down and you stayed down. Get back up. If your coach, your mentor, will see you down there and they be like, get back up, try it again. Let's do this, let's do that. Mentorship is everything. I think everyone should find them a coach and a mentor, whether it's the same person or two different people. One actually helps you with life principles, while the other one helps you with your business. A coach, if you think about football, a coach is not someone that's there to tell you, oh, it's okay to quit, right? They want to see you win. They want to bring home that trophy, that Super Bowl ring, right? So that's what you need in your life, to just push you and drive you to continue, and know that you have someone else there. But you can always be your own coach and your own mentor, right? You can always drive yourself and push yourself. You have that determination to drive yourself to be the best.
Well, that's an interesting thing because sometimes the people who are trying to do it all by themselves, they don't always quite make it to the next level, right? I heard an African proverb, right? It says if you want to go fast, go by yourself, but if you want to have sustainability, you need to have a team. And I learned that myself because I was that person who didn't think somebody could do it as good as I would, or it was hard to delegate and stuff like this. And I wind up getting to the place where I just had so much going on that I had to look at how can I get other people involved. And I started looking at outsourcing. I started looking at other people, and I currently have a coach as well. Johnny, talk to us about how you get coached by Antoinette so that you don't fail, or your business has more success than failure, because that's usually what happens. You still go up and down, but you have more ups than downs because you have somebody in your corner telling you, okay, make, like Bob Weave, make, step back, get that jab, go. Talk about this idea of having someone as a coach or mentor or both, and how it helps you become more successful at business versus going it alone and being a lone wolf.
Well, it's funny, but it's also great that you happen to actually mention this, because the whole time that I have actually been moving forward in this travel business, I've always had Ms. Darden there. She's always been there to support me, and not only her supporting me, but there's a cast of other agents that are in place to help you from the very beginning to the very end, to help you deal with not only things that you will go through that are positive, but the things that are negative. When I say negative, I'll say shifting on a downbeat. Okay, and you have to be motivated, or you have to be able to have enough of motivation within yourself uh, to be able to continue that drive and actually see the actual opportunity that is set before you. And when I say opportunity, I'm speaking about training that I actually got. If not every day, every other day, there was some training available. Okay. Not to include, to be able to have the communication there for me. And of course, if Miss Antoinette wasn't there, she had other folks that were there, ready, standing by, and the mentorship, absolutely great. I mean, you could not ask for a better team to be actually built or build your business under, because even after your business is actually done or building, or when you think your business is building, they step in and help you even further.
You
But
know, it's
that's what
interesting
I
because
got.
I always hear this, and one of the things I like to use as a metaphor, as just a visual, is that Tiger Woods, one of the greatest players ever for the game of golf, right? Tiger Woods, he had a slump and everything, but he came back. But the reason why he was able to sustain and have as many jackets as he has, and have more jackets than anybody, the guy who taught him did not have a jacket,
Wow.
right? The dude that was in the corner before the changeover when Mike Tyson was at his peak, he was Customato was like, "Yo, I don't have a belt, but I can show you how to get a belt." And I think so many times people reject coaching and mentoring because they think they can go it along because they can figure it out. But the reality is, you can see their blind spots, right? You can see some of their what they call scotoma, where they're just making a move, but that move is just not the best move at that moment. Now, I did that myself. I actually became bankrupt, and I lost everything on just listening to two voices, myself and then one person who said, "It's your time, you can do it," right? But that person didn't help me look at all of the plan. They just looked at how things were going at that moment, but they didn't show me how to look down the road. And then they didn't also know that my competition, although I thought was simple, they had been getting kickbacks from the federal government, so they could take a 50% discount on a contract and still win, whereas I was going 100%. So unless I discounted my prices at that 50%, I wasn't going to be in the game. And I wind up being in a situation where I couldn't follow that money. I couldn't get that money fast enough. And I became homeless to the point that, I just couldn't make it. And the reason why I was homeless was because then my credit went bad and I couldn't get this and I couldn't get that. And I was, stuck in a situation where nobody would give me a space. And it was crazy. And I look back on that and I said, that will never happen again, because I want to make sure that I have someone in my corner that can tell me when to bob, when to weave, and when to back up or step in and take the punch, right? So, Antoinette, you are a business owner. You're also real key in in the work that you do. Talk to us about this idea of traveling and how unique it was and why you chose travel over all the other options that you may have had.
Okay, so I chose travel over anything because when I was in the military. I got out the military, and when I got out, I started an amazing job in corrections. Um, and I never once thought of being a business owner. But I love traveling the world, right? And then someone told me that what you love, make it your business, right?
Ooh, wait. That's one of them platinum nuggets. Got to come back in there. Got to come. What you love, make it your business.
Yeah.
What you love. Somebody need to put that comment in the comment section or put that in a tweet. That a tweet. What you love, make it your business. Talk about that. Let's dig a little deeper on that.
Yeah. So basically, if you have a passion for anything, it doesn't matter what it is, make that your business. Why? Because you're going to be doing something that you enjoy doing anyway, right? You'll do it for free. So why do it for free when you can get paid for doing it? And then that's the key. And so you won't give up on something that you already enjoy doing because it's something that you would do for free anyway because you love it.
Well, see, love is a strong word, right? And people are like, what is love? What's love got to do with it? And they say, well, you can't make any money doing that. And so some people like basket weaving. You're not making any money on basket weaving. But the reality is there's a millionaire somewhere who created a basket and had it sold all over the place from Amazon. And he sold 1 million of them yesterday, right?
Right.
So that defunct the myth. But some people just don't have the heart or to believe it. Now, Johnny mentioned that you can have a situation where you need that person to kind of get you to go to the next level. And you said, you had the coach that gives you the strategy, and then you have the mentor who takes care of your heart, right? Your heart and your mind, and keep you connected. Talk about this idea of making sure you have someone that not only is in your corner, but gives you strategic engagement with the ideas and the things that you want to do with your business.
Right. So when you have someone who is very knowledgeable in something that you're already trying to do or something that you have an idea about, and they're knowledgeable about it already, they can already tell you, hey, you may need to read this book, right? Because you have to be educated in your craft. You can't just go out and say, I'm going to just do this without any education on your craft. Um, and so your coach, your mentor will tell you that because you will think, yeah, I know enough. I travel enough. I've been traveling. I've been doing it on my own. So I know enough to be able to do it. Where your coach is like, hey, no, you need to read books about being a business owner. It's not just about having a business that you love. You have to understand the actual ownership of owning a business and the ownership of being an entrepreneur. There is a lot to say about being an entrepreneur, having a 1099, understanding the taxes and everything that's involved with it that you have to be able to understand. And someone that's there, who's been there, who can guide you so you don't make necessarily the same mistakes they made, or go at a faster pace than they were able to go because they already stumbled over that rock that you're about to run into. And so they're saying, hey, don't hit that rock, go left, like you said, because they already see it coming.
That is powerful what you just said because they've already been on the road. They've seen where the landmines are. They've seen, we're all military. What are you? You're Navy, Air
Army,
Force, Army. Y'all
army,
Army people, what in the
army.
world?
No other place but
Army
the
folks.
U.S. Army.
That's the end of the show, y'all. Y'all make sure you get my book, No More Crumbs. All right, so, but here's the thing. When we're in the military, and this is all military, we're taught systems, right? And systems work when people don't.
Mhm.
And the fact is, we need to find a system or create or put a system in place that will help us, navigate through. And so, as you stated, somebody there to say, hey, watch out for that rock, watch out for that boulder, watch out for that mountain. As a matter of fact, we're about to take that mountain as a point to like get scared of the mountain. In some cases, you need that person to say, no, we can make it over that mountain. Just like Dr. King said, right? Dr. King said, I've seen it. He looked over, he saw it. He was like, listen, I may not get there with you, but I've seen it. Now, he was quoting Moses at the time, but he was still putting that image of possibility that if you focus, you can figure it out. You can find it, right? If you put your purpose involved in it, then you could perform what you need to perform, and then you can actually have that thing that you've been dreaming and scheming about. So let's go back because it was Les Brown that I heard. He talked about this idea that if you get knocked down, you just fall on your back because if you can look up, you can get up. right? So, Johnny, talk to us about the adversity of starting a business and how you were able to navigate those waters or those steps or those boulders or those bricks or in what was said earlier, the rocks. How did you navigate that?
Well, the first thing I will tell you, Dwayne, as an old wise man once told me before, one thing is to know what you want, but the question is, do you have what you need? You know, and far as being successful in life, you really have to understand and know that in order to achieve the things that you want, there's no way around it uh, but to go ahead and engage, as you all were saying, just caveat on what you were saying, is to basically study and build and have your craft and know your craft. Um, and one of the main things that I actually saw when I first started out was there was a lot of uh, books there for me to read, to build myself up, to educate myself. That way, when I started to actually come among some rough times, okay, somebody had already been out there that has pretty much gone through with the scenario that I was going through, okay, and took the time to write it down. And, I can pretty much say, okay, this is what I'm going through now. So I must be at this point of my business. So, but I want to be here. And when that happened, lo and behold, again, I had my team right there for me to give me that extra push, which of course was Miss Darden as one of my coaches. And then, I mean, there's just a whole string line of individuals that all chipped in as far as helping me get to the point to where I'm at right now.
That's awesome because when you're in the military and then you actually retire and you get in a situation, you lose a lot. And actually, I still deal with the fact that the band of brothers idea that you have this group of people that think like you, understand what you go through, etc. I think within this mentor and coaching situation of entrepreneurship that you're talking about and having a system, which is in the travel industry, you're able to kind of connect back to that kind of idea of group coming together to support one another and making sure somebody got your six, right? Somebody's there that just in case you stumble, they got your hand and they can get you back involved. So I would
Absolutely.
love for you guys to, we're going to move into another place because, travel is a unique industry. It is the largest industry in all industries, larger than insurance, larger than health. As a matter of fact, as I understood it, in preparing for the show, all of those industries can actually fit inside the travel industry.
Thanks,
That's
correct.
And the crazy thing is, the baby boomers, like my age and your age, John, because you're older than me. No, just kidding. I'm older than you. But those dudes that are like 65, 70,
Yeah.
they're retiring and they have what they call disposable income and they have all these dreams, and if they can keep their bodies together and not be in a home somewhere where they can't do for themselves, man, what do they want to do? They want to travel the world. They want to go take their grandkids. Maybe they didn't get to go, but they're like, because I remember standing in front of the Sphinx, right? I went to Egypt and I was standing in front of the Sphinx, and in my mind I never thought, oh, you know what, I want to take my grandsons and my sons and bring them to Egypt and let them stand in front of the Sphinx as well and see one of the eighth wonders of the world, right? So, talk about this idea of the pandemic and how safe it is or not safe or whatever it is that you learn, because you guys got to continue learning. A lot of people think you just become a agent and that's it. But I understand that behind the scenes is an education like a university, travel university, and you go to travel university and they actually give you what they call fam trips, familiarization trips, where you can actually go and learn about that environment, so what to expect, what not to expect, how to dress, not to dress, take the taxi, don't take the taxi, all these kind of things. Talk about this idea of traveling safe during the pandemic and what that means, Antoinette.
Yeah, so I've been traveling since the pandemic started. I haven't stopped uh, because I love to travel. But one thing I will say is looking at travel and the travel industry now, we were traveling so dirty prior
Traveling dirty. That sounds like a rap song. We're traveling dirty. We're
prior
traveling dirty. Go
prior to
ahead.
the pandemic. And I say that because, you think of all the things that we were doing, touching, going behind one another, sitting on seats, and there was no kind of protection or cleaning ever done. And we never thought anything of it, right? We just continued on with our day. And so since the pandemic, there are a lot of agencies, a lot of our partners, hotels, rental cars, everyone in the travel industry has upped their game. I would say 100 times what it was. A lot of the airline industry have replaced their filtration system to where now it's their filtration system is catching like 99.97% every 2-3 minutes of the bacteria in the air. They say it's safer to be in an airplane than in your local grocery store right now because of the upgrades and things that they've done, to include the fogging system, where they disinfect the plane. It gives a barrier for 30 days to stop bacteria and kills it on contact. So there is a lot of amazing things, even to us wearing our masks and a face covering on the plane. And when I say they are very serious about wearing your face covering on any airline I have been on, that's one thing. And they'll tell you in the beginning, we will put you off this plane
We
because
actually saw that. I got that was on the 6 o'clock news, and I want to slow you down a little bit because I actually traveled as well, and I will say that I was kind of disappointed by one particular airline, and not to mention, they kind of have Jesus and the Spirit involved, but they did not practice as much as I thought. However, there was another one that's like out west that was really amazing, and they were like, "Look, you need to be over here. You can't come." They only let 10 people on at a time. It wasn't no long line. It was like 90 groups instead of 17. It was amazing. And I thought, wow, look at all the safeguards. Even in the fact that they didn't even give away any snacks, because they said, no, we want you to keep your mask on, no snacks during this flight, because we don't want you opening up and da 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 da. But you said something really, really, really key about safety inside the aircraft versus the store, because every day we have to think about going through the aisles and walking behind somebody and getting some bread while they in the aisle, and even though they got one-way aisles and two-way and all this kind of stuff, they don't have the air filtration system. And I built aircraft. I built the first C-17 as a military aircraft, but I also built the first MD-11. I was involved when I worked for McDonnell Douglas, that became DAC Airlines, that became, that was acquired by Boeing back in the day. But I remember the vastness of all the pieces and things like this. And so what you're saying, Antoinette, is that they've actually put some safeguards in, and you probably experienced what I experienced even in Las Vegas, where there's a million people, right? Tell me if you saw this, because I know what I saw. I'm walking and I see like a hand sanitizer box like in the middle of nowhere, right? And then I saw like some dude, he was like over there taking care of the rails, where you know in the middle of nowhere. He was just taking care of the rails, and the other person was over there with the escalator, taking care of the escalator. Talk about this idea of safety and how people are doing things to create an environment that at least we have a perception more than we did prior to, say June of last year, 2020.
Yeah, like I said, everyone is practicing amazing safety when it comes to COVID. I was just in Vegas. I came home on Monday. And so I was just there last weekend. And oh my goodness, they actually have hand washing stations in the middle of the casinos. If you go to like the blackjack table or, any of the craps tables, not that I was there, right? But they have their own little
Johnny,
cubicle.
do you believe her?
No
Your
way.
mentor and your coach
You,
is
you
telling you
know, I
she
know
was
my
just
mentor.
watching
I know my mentor made sure that everything was clean
up and up, right?
everywhere she went, including her hotel.
Yeah, they even had the little thing on the door, right? And then once you in, you in. You can't be coming back and forth to the room. Go ahead,
That is
finish,
correct.
Antoinette.
Yes. And so they even have the little cubicles, at the tables and everything. And then once you get up, They wipe it down before the next person get in. The hotels, like you were saying, they have the little tape on the window, on the doors to let you know that this room has been sanitized. Even car rentals. When you go rent a car, it has the tape on the door to let you know this car has already been sanitized and wiped down prior to you getting in it, because everyone understands and know how this pandemic has hit the world and how devastating it was, and everybody wants to be extra cautious. So they were giving away at the hotel. They were just having little sanitation packs in case you needed to wipe down something else. It was amazing. At the bus stop in Vegas, they had a hand sanitizer
Girl,
at
you
the
was taking the
bus
bus? You was taking the
stop.
bus in Vegas?
I got to take all transportation because I want to be able to tell my clients whether they got
Okay,
a lot of money or little money, what
I'm
they
picking
need to
up what you're putting down. You like, wait, I'm on a fam trip. I'm gonna familiarize myself with all the
do.
opportunities so that I can make sure
Everything.
that I can educate
Everything.
my people. I got you. I got you.
Yes.
So let's talk about this because I think this is like we got about 10, 12 more minutes, and people want to travel. So now they got an idea that there are some safety measures. There's some different things in there, but what I'm noticing is that people are looking for all-inclusive environments where everything is included. They take their entire family, they get into the one room or the one house. You got Verbo and you got what's the other one, Airbnb, and you get the whole spot. I had a beautiful spot. As a matter of fact, I had an MGM room that cost $300 a night for $75 a night. Can you talk about some of the discounts and the opportunities that some of these places are providing for us right now while we don't have full capacity in some of the hotels and don't have full capacity with the travel air, with the transportation? Talk about that. Johnny first and then Antoinette.
Well, I can honestly say that there's definitely various different vendors through travel globally that actually offer huge, and I mean absolutely huge discounts where you would actually find some of the prices that you were speaking about. And these prices are definitely, a lot of them are basically here to stay. And some of them will be pretty much in place right now. We probably thinking, hey, because of this pandemic, but believe it or not, I can honestly say through my travel, independent travel business, and as well as I can speak for Miss Miles, let you know that there are great deals every day. And I can also tell you that you will not be able to actually find um, uh, this particular these particular vendors in one area, if you will. But I will say you'll be able to definitely find them through Miss Miles, Mini Miles travel business, as well as traveling globally. Indeed.
And Miss Miles,
Yes. So yeah, just like
start.
Mr. Johnny was saying, yeah, thanks. Like he was saying, yeah, prices are phenomenal right now because the industry understands that people are a little weary, so they want to make prices to where it just gets you to say, I gotta go, right? And then once you get out there and you see all the amazing things that I just shared with you guys that people are doing to make us feel safer, then you're gonna feel safer to continue to travel. And you're gonna get on Facebook, you're gonna share it with social media, your friends are gonna see it. So a lot of the industry are having amazing travel prices right now. And it's really one of the best times to book trips, whether it's now or for the future. Now is the time to start booking because when the travel, everybody know vaccines are coming out. And when people feel like, hey, I'm good and I'm going to travel more now, the prices are going to go back up. And so you want to go ahead and get in the front of that while the prices are low, book your trips, get them scheduled. Yes, book now and go later. We even, myself and Mr. Connor, we even have an opportunity to where you can actually, be able to book your trip, pay for it, and then pay it off over 12 months. So it's like putting your trip on layaway almost. Uh, we have amazing opportunities. So
Hold up, wait. You can put. I think there's a couple of people that might be very interested in this whole layaway situation, because I'm thinking about my son and his wife and my three grandkids plus my bonus grandson having all of them jump on the Mickey boat,
right.
because I think or the Mickey Kingdom. I had my supervisor, her entire family, that was 28 or 26, I can't remember. It was a lot of them. They just went, and she said it was so done so well that they stayed extra because they were like, wow, and everybody came back safe. So this idea of putting something together like this is really really powerful. We got about 8 more minutes. Talk about the power of having other people involved in your business, and then how do people participate in the type of business you get, because you have a franchise model, right?
Yes.
Franchise model is just like if you have a McDonald's. Like right now, if you wanted a Subway costs upwards of $50,000 to get started. I think it's 78,000 to just get like the little one, and then there's other ones that's 250,000, and McDonald's is over a million just to get one. So this is something that people can get started at a minimal price, and then they still get the same tax benefits. Talk about some of the tax benefits of starting first the low cost, then the tax benefit, right? The low cost, the tax benefit, and then how do you build? Because that's got to be important. And that's Antoinette.
Okay. Yeah. So there is a very, very low cost to start. If anyone wants the exact information on it, you can always contact me, and I think our info or Mr. Connor, and our information I think is in the comment section. But yes, the startup cost for a traditional business will run you thousands and thousands of dollars, and most of the time, people who start with a traditional business, it's gonna take 3 to 5 years before you even can expect to see a profit in your business. Whereas me and Mr. Connor has found a industry to where you can start and actually earn a profit in your first year of being in business if you work your business. One thing else that I would like to say before we get off, because I know sometimes people are very concerned about the COVID testing. And so I wanted to, if it's okay, if I can hit on that very
Sure.
quickly. So a lot of people are concerned because the CDC has put out, starting January the 26th this year, we all will be required to take a COVID test. If you travel outside of the U.S., you need a COVID test within 72 hours to get back into the U.S. And so not only most places you need a COVID test to go to other countries, but now you need one on a return. So I know we was talking about all-inclusive resorts. There are a lot of resorts, a lot of our partners that have already heard the CDC's plan, got in front of it, and are actually offering free COVID testing to vacationers. So those are things that, knowledge on the front end that travel agents have. To anyone who is planning on traveling, use a travel agent. They have all the knowledge of these type of things like I'm sharing now with the CDC guidelines for different countries, to ensure you're not paying for a trip and then get there and then can't get back into the States, right? Making sure that you have the correct passport if you need a passport to go, and those type of things. But you can always reach out to me. I would gladly help anyone. If you're ready to start your own business and travel, we definitely can help you, because the team we have is an amazing team. We will not be where we are without the team that we have. It's a lot of times that we have agents that specialize in different things, whether it's specializing, as you stated, in Disney, or specializing in one of the other different areas, and that we actually help each other and say, hey, since you already specialize in Hawaii, why don't you take this booking? Because I have 20 people who are trying to go to Hawaii, and I want to ensure that my client has the best experience ever. So since you have that certification. Why don't you take this client? That way they can have a great experience. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about: is ensuring that our clients have the best experience that they can have.
That's right.
That's awesome. And this, I put myself out. So this last part, because we got 2 minutes. This idea of pre-testing and testing to come back in, it actually we experienced that going to, if you wanted to go to New York, you had to show from Maryland anyway, because Maryland was a hot spot right before the holidays, and there was a couple of other spots that they actually shut those states down. So you probably could go further by going overseas than you could right in our backyard. But perhaps maybe there's some information that people can get because you said agent, and it sounds to me like I'm under the lights. It's like a lot of lights, so it gets hot in here. But because this is a studio, small little studio. But what's the difference? Because some people get into these businesses and they just become like a referrer, and then other people become an actual agent and they get a certificate of completion and things of this nature. Can you talk about that real quick before we wrap up?
Yeah, so what me and Mr. Connor teaches is how people can become actual travel agent owners, where you are actually the owner, the CEO of the business. There's some companies out here that would allow you to partner with them to where you're considered a member or a I don't know,
Subscriber or some
as a subscriber. Yeah, exactly, and not an actual business owner. Here, Many Miles Travel. Clearly, you see, Miles was my middle name before I got married to my lovely wife. But Many Miles Travel is my brand, my name. I designed my logo. I designed because it's my business, right? Traveling globally is Mr. Connor's business, his name, his business. Um, and that's the difference is we teach people how to be business owners and not a subscriber or member working for someone else and helping someone else achieve their dreams instead of getting all the front hand income and achieving your own.
And that's a good place for us to talk about. And Johnny, I'm gonna ask you this because if you were gonna choose one word to describe why people should participate in your business, what word would that be? And in 30 seconds or less, why?
Freedom.
Why?
Well, freedom. I say freedom because of the simple fact that, again, you are able to actually be in control of your business. And this business itself is a very, very profitable business, especially the RAM that myself and also that Ms. Darden are under. We are doing quite well, and this company is quite well, doing quite well. Should I say, I know for a fact that my company is doing quite well. And of course, Ms. Darden's is because of the training that we had. I always go back to that. But at the end of the day, we get up and go to work when we want to go to work. Okay. You can't find that anywhere. You're able to travel whenever you want to travel. There's so many different definitions of why I feel that you have your freedom, okay, and to be able to have as much as money as you want to spend where you want, when you want, how you want. Freedom.
Awesome. All right, you guys have heard it from them. This is Antuinette Miles-Darden, owner of Many Miles, Many Miles Travel, and Mr. John Connor, traveling globally. And I shared their information as you look into the comments and as you look into the links of the show. I just want to say thank you so much, Antoinette. I know we tried it a couple of times and the dates didn't quite match, but you was like this morning, you were like, yes, we can make it. And so we got you on the calendar and got you into space. And, that's great. And I want to encourage you guys, ask more questions if you need more information, or just maybe you're planning something for your family reunion. Because even if you're not going overseas and you're planning to do something here, an agent can help you put that together right here locally. Maybe you want to have all your family travel down to one of the Gulf Coast, or maybe the Miami coast, or somewhere around the coast of United States of America, or maybe you just want to go to the mountains or something like that. It really doesn't matter. Whatever it is, these two people here can assist you in putting a plan together. And when you have a plan together, you're going to have a better experience because you're not trying to figure it out yourself. They're the experts. They have access to other experts who will make sure that they plan this stuff out for you. Thank you so much, Antoinette. Thank you, John. It's a pleasure, man, seeing you again. As always, I'm going to bring you guys into the green room, wrap this up. And I want to say, we got more in store for you next week. So be aware and be ready. Here's the thing, man. Love is the answer, right? We have to figure out how to love one another and get away from all of this other negativity. And while you're doing that, think about how you want to show up. It's so interesting because when I wrote this book back in 2004, it was all about helping people discover their talent, their ability, their gift. But here's the thing that Miles Monroe said. Every single day, people with dreams, ambitions, solutions to the world's problems die with their stuff on the inside of them. Don't die with your dreams on the inside. You want to go somewhere. I'm going to tell this real quick story. I had a supervisor who was always saying about what he was going to do. He was going to do this and when he retired. He's going to do this when he retires. He's going to do this when he retires. And a couple of you know who that is. Sandy, you know who I'm talking about. So he got the Winnebago, or whatever it was called, and he brought it to work, and he's like, hey, I'm retiring in 2 weeks. And we all got to sit in there, and the walls went out, and it had everything you could think of inside this camper. And he had a granddaughter that he was saying, I'm going to take her fly fishing, and we're going to do all this kind of stuff. He retired, let's say, January 1st. By January 18th, he was off the head of the earth, off into transition. He had waited all his life to do this thing and didn't get a chance to participate. I want to encourage you, man, to think about how you want life to be. Life is what you make it. And yeah, it's just like Forrest Gump might have said, it's a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But be okay with the chocolate. Be okay with not knowing. And remember, Jack Canfield said this, when you commit to the what, the how will show up. When you commit to the what, the how will show up. So take time to think about what we talked about today. Traveling globally, financial freedom, traveling safely, going to places that it seems like it's more safe to travel inside the plane than to go get a bag of chips at the store. All this kind of stuff. I want to say thank you again to everybody, especially you guys that have been watching me for some while. I saw you on Facebook. I want to say thank you, Miss Gladys, Miss Tracy, the name Curtis Williams, my nephew out there taking care of business, checking out some stuff. A lot of people out there. Sabrina, thank you so much for riding with us. I want to say thank you. I'll see you next time on the next page, the next post, the next YouTube video, or right here on the next live. And don't forget, we're going to be on multiple platforms in the month of February. That's the date that we're looking for as a Black History event. I'm planning on something, and then keep your eyes open for these other events that we're going to be having, and what we're actually calling these not just a boot camp, but we're going to have a master class. And these master classes are not going to be watching the video. They're going to be watching us live, guiding you through the process of owning certain things. I got Miss Jan Peters also coming at you. She is a voiceover artist. We're putting together a program. She's going to show you how to get enrolled and get involved in being a voiceover artist, if that's what you want to do, and make you some side money on that and start you a small business. All right. It's all about taking your passion and turning it into a profit. How do you do it? By listening to these people I've been bringing on the show. We're in show 40 something right now. I got to even look it up because I didn't write it down this week. But 40 shows, y'all, since April. Talk to you later. Take care. We'll see you on the next post.
What?